welcome back. You're watching the Urban Debate. Now, selection, consistent form, and the ability to seize the opportunity when it presents itself is something all athletes go through in their life. Now, cricketers are, of course, no different. In a country wherein the sport is worshipped and players are larger than life, they are, of course, subject to massive scrutiny when they underperform. Now, be it the likes of Virat Kohli, Yuvraj Singh, David Warner, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, Rohit Sharma, they've all gone through the turmoil of having bad phases in their career. But the latest cricketer who has been facing constant criticism for his lean patch is Indian opener and former Vice-Test captain KL Rahul. And remember, the stats speak for themselves. There has not been a single 25-plus score in the last 10 test innings for KL Rahul, and despite that, his selection in the test team has turned out to be one of the most curious cases in Indian cricket, if one can call it. Now, calling out the cricketer for his poor form and questioning his constant inclusion in the squad despite his non-performance, former India pacer Venkatesh Prasad has been quite vocal. In fact, Prasad fired a fresh salvo, pointing out the batter's modest overseas record and comparing it with home or overseas statistics of players such as Shikhar Dhawan, Mayank Agarwal, Shubman Gill and Ajinkya Rahane, three of whom, of course, have turned out for India as openers in Test cricket. Now, as we speak about KL Rahul, remember his last century in Test came in December 2021 against South Africa at the Centurion. Now, following his below-par performance over the past year, KL Rahul has been removed as the vice-captain of India's Test team by the BCCI, but did not drop him from the squad, which of course surprised many. But Indian skipper Rohit Sharma had a different point of view, stating anyone with potential will be given an extended run.
Yeah, I mean, off late there has been a lot of talks about his batting, but again, for us as team management, we always look at the potential of any individual, not just KL. I was asked in the past about a lot of players, and if the guy has potential, the guys will get that extended run. It's not just about KL, but anyone.
And the comment by the Indian captain on potential can be viewed, of course, in several ways, because backing players even during their tough times is essential. But what about those with real talent who have made the performances talk for themselves, including cricketers like Sarfaraz Khan, Shubman Gill, who have not made the cut to represent their country, is probably the bigger question. In fact, I have Nikhil Sharma, sports commentator and author, as well as my colleague Karishma, joining us live on the broadcast. Let me go across first to Nikhil. Nikhil, of course, this is probably something that everybody was thinking in their minds. But of course, Venkatesh Prasad went out and put that tweet, sparking this debate of conversation. How do you wade into this? Do you think it is time for him to be axed? Of course, in terms of captaincy, that's the first step. But do you think it's high time for Indian cricket in terms of red ball format not to be seeing KL Rahul have a position anymore?
As far as, Venkatesh Prasad is concerned, I think he's been fairly straightforward. He's spoken something that almost every cricket fan in India has been speaking about. Unfortunately, KL Rahul finds himself at the center of that controversy or, the discussion. And you've spoken about the stats, and they're fairly evident in themselves. He's not done well, and yet he's received that extended run. He's got that extended rope from the team management, which in a certain way is great, because you want athletes, you want cricketers to be given a chance to prove themselves. I do feel in the case of KL Rahul, it's been slightly extended. There've been, a lot of names that have been taken there, and there'll be possibly 10 more. You could talk about Karun Nair. The guy had a triple hundred, played only about 6 odd, test matches, 7 innings. So that's not much. There've been so many. Murali Vijay possibly had a better average. But the truth of the matter is anybody below 40 average in Test cricket and red ball cricket, playing predominantly in Indian conditions, isn't really the talent that India is looking for. You have to have your test average, especially if you're an upper order, top order batsman, to be in the higher side of 40. I don't think KL Rahul is doing justice to his talent, and definitely I'm not in agreement with what Rohit Sharma said, that everybody will be given an extended run if you have the talent. There are many people with that kind of talent in India. It's a question, of course, once you've picked up the side, and I do believe that KL Rahul staying in the side is okay, but it remains to be seen if he's picked up, that opening slot is his in the third test in Indore. I doubt it. I do feel the time has come to give, possibly Shubman Gill that chance. But let's wait and watch. It's one of the bigger mysteries in Indian cricket right now.
Right, Nikhil. But of course, as you point out, there are youngsters waiting for that opportunity. So let me take that point across to my colleague Karishma. Karishma, what are the fans, really speaking about this, and how are they looking at it? Because of course, like Nikhil pointed out, there are youngsters, whether even if we talk about Shubman Gill or Sarfaraz Khan, waiting for that opportunity in the red ball format. So if you could talk to us on that front, what is it that the fans ultimately want now?
Well, of course, mature cricket fans know what Venkatesh Prasad is talking about or what KL Rahul is capable of. Nobody is questioning his potential or his class as a player in Test cricket. But fact of the matter is that apart from 150 in the last 1.5 years, KL Rahul has nothing to show in Test cricket. And that is why questions are being asked of him and his place in the team as to why is he there in the playing 11. Now, why is that being asked? Because you have Shubman Gill who is waiting. You have Sarfaraz Khan who is scoring runs in first-class cricket, waiting for an opportunity to be given to him in Test cricket or in any format of the game. And now comes Rohit Sharma, who is saying that every player will be given a chance. But does that really hold true? Because you have Shikhar Dhawan, you have Mayank Agarwal, who weren't given an extended rope like KL Rahul. So fans, of course, wanting a proper answer as to why KL Rahul has got this extended rope or chances. Yes, possibly the silver lining is KL Rahul being stripped of a vice captaincy. We will have to wait and see who the new vice captain of Indian team could be. There was a lot of talk about R. Ashwin being given that responsibility because he has a very, very large and crucial role to play in Test cricket, especially when India plays at home. He is a force to reckon with, along with Ravindra Jadeja. So, of course, KL Rahul has been removed from vice captaincy. That could possibly be seen as a first step as to what happens next with him. Will he be in the playing 11 or not? Or will the Indian team go with Shubman Gill in the Indore test? So it is going to be very, very crucial and interesting to see as to what the Indian team persists with. Do they tinker with the winning combination, or does KL Rahul get one more opportunity, 2 more innings to show that he does have the potential that everyone is talking about? But like Venkatesh Prasad in one of his tweets also said, that even if he goes on to score a 50 or a 100, doesn't really absolve him of the poor form that he's been in. So the Indore test and the Ahmedabad test, if KL Rahul is given a chance, it will be very, very important for him to perform in those 2 test matches.
Right, Karishma. Nikhil, coming to the point of BCCI taking this step, of course, like Karishma pointed out, maybe one of the first things that they've done here is to remove him of vice captaincy. But in the past, it's not like BCCI has not taken strong calls. Whether even if we talk about other players like Cheteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane, also at some point who had seen, that period of low in their career, but they were quick to take a call on that. So it also talks about favoritism in selection in that aspect when it comes to KL Rahul. How do you view that point?
It's really tough to say what's prompted the BCCI or the team management to have that kind of faith in Rahul. Of course, not so long back he's had an injury as well. He had a long layoff through that injury, and right before that there were even talks of when Virat Kohli went away from or resigned from his T20 and ODI captaincy, that there were some suggestions in some quarters that KL Rahul be handed it out. Of course, he took over interim in one of the series as well. I think we must take decisions which are in the favor of the game. It doesn't matter who the individual is. Modern day game demands quick responsive action from the board. of course, we have to be mindful that we must not take knee-jerk reactions. KL Rahul is a talented athlete, a talented cricketer, a very good batsman. His test record doesn't speak for itself, but if you really look at his performances, he's always done well. Is it some sort of favoritism? I can't quite wrap my head around it, but I do feel that if this is the kind of chance that he's got, or chances rather that he's got, then surely the likes of Shubman Gill or Mayank Agarwal, for that matter, have to be given a lot more chances. Mayank has had a very a good run in domestic cricket, as well as when he's played for India in India. So I hope the selectors are taking note of all the batsmen, the openers that are doing well, and of course somebody like Sarfaraz is getting runs by the dozen, in domestic cricket. So sooner or later, then he has to get that opportunity to open for the Indian team.
Karishma, also just to wade into this conversation about the fact that, do you think changing the order of him batting would change things around? Like, let's say if he were to bat in the middle rather than opening, do you think that's something potentially that can be looked at as a strategy?
No, absolutely not. Rohit Sharma is not going to do that because it is KL Rahul who needs to really perform. He is an opener in the Indian team. He needs to, perform, give India start that it often needs, or chase runs when it's needed. So he's not going to be allowed to play at any other number, one down, two down. No, he is supposed to open the innings, and he is going to be doing that only if he is given a chance to play in the 11, because lower down the order you have Chiteshwar Pujara, you have Virat Kohli, you have Shreyas Iyer, you have Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja. So there is no space for KL Rahul to swap with any batsman. He has to perform top of the order. That's his duty. That's his responsibility as a member of the team, and he really needs to get going.
I'd have to interject you for the moment, but I want to thank you as well as Nikhil Sharma for taking the time out and joining us on this special show. Thank you very much once again. But we leave it to that for the moment, and that's all I have for you in this edition. Thank you very much for watching, but stay tuned to Mirror Now. News, views and updates to continue on the other side.